You'll be here in a second and jump right here.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It is my pleasure to kick off this press conference and to I think celebrate, commemorate the beginning of the end of this session. I am pleased to be joined by many county executives and the delegations from Baltimore City, Baltimore County, Prince George's County, Montgomery County, who did I miss? Frederick County, Anne Arundel County. And just I want to thank everyone, Charles County, for working so hard on behalf of the residents of our state. I particularly want to thank the Baltimore City delegation chaired by Senator Catherine Pugh and Delegate Kurt Anderson for all of their hard work. They understand the pressures of limited resources. They understand the pressures of constrained resources at the city level and the state level, and worked hard to advocate for the things that we believe will be helpful, whether it's open space money or the enabling legislation that will allow us to create incentives for firefighters, police officers, and sheriff's deputies to live in the city. They get it, and I want to thank them for all of their hard work. I know there's a number of pieces of legislation that we are optimistic and hopeful that the governor will sign. I'm hoping that we'll get to where we need to be on critical issues like police reforms, and that's what Sine Die is always about. Pulling a rabbit out of the hat at the last minute to make sure that in these 90 days, Maryland continues to move forward. So again, I know that this has been a particularly hard session for many of you. I've spoken to many of you that said that the partisanship that we've seen this session has something that many of you have not experienced before. But through it all, we have made progress. So again, I want to thank you all and turn it over to County Executive Kevin Kamenetz.
Well, thank you, Madam Mayor, and good morning to everyone, including my fellow county executives, as well as our extraordinary members of the General Assembly. Let me ask you this question. Where was Governor Hogan this session? When we needed a comprehensive bill to aid Baltimore City, where was Governor Hogan? All talk, no action. When Baltimore County was shortchanged on school construction dollars and a bill was needed to add $8 million, where was Governor Hogan? All talk, no action. When we needed a bill to improve bus system oversight, where was Governor Hogan? All talk, no action. After he left the Baltimore region stuck in traffic and we needed a bill to improve the transportation planning process, where was Governor Hogan? All talk, no action. Thanks to the extraordinary leadership of President Miller and Speaker Bush, it was the General Assembly Democrats who passed these bills. When Governor Hogan mocked the legislative branch for being on spring break, it was the General Assembly who took action. Thank you, Baltimore County delegation, Prince George's, Montgomery, Baltimore City, Frederick, all of our Dems for your leadership. Now it's my opportunity, thank you. Now it's my opportunity and great pleasure to introduce my colleague, Prince George's County Executive, Rashawn Baker.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. You know what I like about County Executive Kamenetz? He holds it back. But I too want to thank Speaker Bush and President Miller. But more importantly, I want to thank our delegations. They have come together, not just Prince George's County, Montgomery County, Baltimore City, Baltimore County, Frederick County, but Anne Arundel County Democrats. Everybody has come together. We held this press conference some months ago. And the reason we held it was because we could not get the action from the second floor that we needed. I know for us in Prince George's County, we faced a critical issue that's not just about health care in Prince George's County, but health care throughout the state of Maryland. And we came to the General Assembly, we came to our delegation chair, Delegate Walker, and our Senate chair, Senator Rosapep, and we said we need to get together to get this passed for Marylanders. They went to their colleagues around the state. What happened was, after a year of trying to negotiate with the second floor, we turned to the General Assembly. So come Sine Die, The people of Maryland are going to have a first-class, world-class hospital system in Prince George's County, thanks to the work of these men and women behind me. Thanks to the work, that's right. And thanks to their work, we're going to be able to get not just school funding for our children, but build the schools we need. Thank you very much, General Assembly. Thank you, delegates and senators. That's the kind of work that we want to see happen. That happened because of you. We want to be cooperative with the second floor. We want them to work together for all Marylanders. And that's what we're pushing here. But we're here today to say thank you. We don't want the public, let me just end with this before I call up the next one. I don't want the public come tomorrow to look at the great things that are going to happen in this state and think they happen simply because of the second floor. They didn't. Those things that you'll see tomorrow happen because of these men and women standing behind us, working together, pushing through, and showing leadership. Thank you very much. Now I turn over to my colleague, Ike Leggett from Montgomery County.
Thank you. Thank you. We've had some successes over the last few months. And I want to thank our delegation from Montgomery County and all of those who are standing here with me, especially thank the President and the Speaker of the House for their outstanding leadership. We've seen improvement, thanks to the legislators who have taken the task of making certain that we have school construction. That school construction will help immensely in Montgomery County, especially when you see the fact that we have over 2,000 students who are now enrolled in each and every year in Montgomery County. We see work and progress has been made so that we can move forward now on Watkins Mill Interchange, and that was one of the projects that we mentioned earlier in the session. And certainly we see support for our University at Shaded Grove, $37 million now that will allow us to get a shovel in the ground and to go forward. The members of the General Assembly have responded favorably to many of these initiatives. There's one other matter that I think people have sort of taken outside of under the radar, and that is we've had some very difficult challenges related to the Wynn case. And we had, through the efforts of Richard Manolino, Senator Kagan, and many in the delegation of Montgomery County and around the state, the Speaker and others, to ensure that we get some relief. And we have that relief. That relief, for example, will allow us to extend the payments for Wynn much longer and start later. For Montgomery County, it would allow us to significantly reduce the tax increase that I've asked, because part of it is built upon the Wynn case. We were able to reduce a tax request to our county council from 3.9 cents increase to 2.1 cent increase based on the results of what you've done here in Annapolis. Thank you. That is immensely popular and is something that would help every delegation around the entire state of Maryland. This is a win for everyone, so I want to thank you for your work, the outstanding work that you provided to allow for relief. Now I'll turn it over to Jane Gardner.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner. It's really a pleasure to be here with my other fellow county executives, with so many great members of our state legislature who've really helped to make this a good session for education and for economic development in Frederick County and around the state. Our top priority this session was about economic development. It was really about our downtown city of Frederick hotel and conference center. And I really want to give a shout out for the heavy lifting for our District 3 delegation members, to Senator Ron Young, to Delegate Carol Krim, who has really simply been awesome on everything we've needed in our county, and to Delegate Karen Lewis Young. They really did the heavy lifting for us. And I want to thank the other members of the state legislature who really came to bat for Frederick County to make this job creation, this economic development in our community possible. Likewise, I want to thank you for education. You know, we have a shared value across the state for quality education. We know it's important for our students and their families, but it's also important for our long-term economic prosperity. It's what our employers want, is a well-skilled, well-educated workforce. And I have to say, thank you for making sure that we have full funding of the Geographic Cost of Education Index. That's very important to us in Frederick County and many other counties who are joined here today, to make sure that we can make progress Last year, when that money was held, we actually increased class size in our community, and that took us backwards. This year, we're going to be able to move forward, and it's thanks to the help of the legislature for making that happen. So it's been a great session for Frederick County, probably one of the best we've seen in many years, and I really want to thank members of the legislature across the states for supporting us in economic development and in education. Thank you.
All right, open up for any questions.
Question for the mayor. Lots been done. Has been done for Baltimore this session. Can you tell us what your thoughts are on some of the legislation in terms of the aid package
Right.
that's moved and some of the other things like police reform?
So I want to thank Speaker Bush and President Miller for their support of the aid package, and say that in many ways they have been responsive to the needs of our community. The challenges that we have is that while the legislature, particularly our delegation, worked to be responsive, the Hogan administration has been very partisan in their support or lack of support for critical funding. So my hope is that as we fight these last hours of the session, that there will be some epiphany around the fact that that it is okay to support Baltimore City. It's okay to look for ways to support open space, and like I said, the work that we're doing with blight elimination, all of those things. So again, I'm grateful for the delegation for stepping up. I'm grateful for Speaker Bush and President Miller, and hopeful that the Hogan administration will also step up.
What do you think about the police reform bill and how that's going? Any thoughts about that?
I think I've been around long enough to know that progress doesn't happen overnight. The fact that it's still alive is encouraging to me. I'm hopeful that there will be meaningful reforms out of this session, and I'm hoping that it'll continue. It's not a one-session project. I was here last year talking about police reforms. I'm sure many of us will be here next year talking about the same thing. And again, hopeful that there is some progress, some real progress made this year.
Where do you stand on the issue of the civilians on the review boards for that bill?
I think it's a challenging issue. I mean, Commissioner Davis makes a good point that unless the civilians are adequately trained, it might do more damage than good. So I think that it's something that definitely we need to study to make sure that where is it that we have civilians on that review board that works. What are the lessons learned? But he does raise an important concern. We want to make sure that those individuals who put their lives on the line every single day when they show up for work, that they're given we're trying to level the playing field, not make it uneven or unlevel for the officers that serve us. So that is, I understand the Commissioner's concerns about the civilian members.
Mayor, the governor before session announced his initiatives related to blighted properties in Baltimore City and open space. Could you elaborate on what you mean when you say that the governor has not been supportive, has been partisan about these efforts?
Well, I mean, the governor very rightly recognized my Vacants to Values initiative was worth supporting, and I'm grateful for that. For 5 years, we put an innovative blight elimination program in place, and as he has done, he is in not just Baltimore City, but in many jurisdictions, he has tagged on to successful initiatives, and I appreciate that. But there are several ways that the Hogan administration has fallen flat when it comes to supporting Baltimore City. When it comes to transportation, we have been abandoned. I have heard nothing but frustration from residents and community members who attend the transportation meetings talking about this colorful, was it link, bus link, B-link? It is I would consider an embarrassment when you have a multi-billion-dollar project that can transform lives and keep Maryland competitive, that it's replaced with a colorful bus line. Just that alone, I think, is has damaged. It's playing partisan politics and damaging the future of our jurisdiction. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.